Hello, Potato. I screwed up the beginning of this video. I've already recorded it once, but see, I somehow failed to notice that this was hanging in front of the camera the entire time. So now I get to do it again. But the good news is it'll probably be much shorter because I've already opened the item. But in brief, I really do like some of my favorite sets that LEGO's put out in the last few years that aren't licensed anyways, have been the upscaled minifigure sets. Now, of course, I missed out on Harry and Hermione and the holiest of my grails, the whitest of my whales, is the upscaled pirate. But you have to go to Lego House to get that, which is why it's indeed, I already have a holy grail, a literal holy grail. Did a video on it a couple years ago, but I will probably never have the upscaled pirate. But what I do have is a 40649, the upscaled Lego minifigure, and I do have 40819, the upscaled Lego race car driver, or racing driver, I think is his actual technical name. And not pictured here because he's off in the North Pole is the upscaled Santa 40820 that I put together last year. Now both him and Santa came out last year. He came out I think a couple years ago. And if you look back to that video, and I want you to check the date on that video, I made a comment about how the next one almost certainly had to be a spaceman. That would be the logical next choice, because obviously we're not going to get the pirate. And, I mean, I suppose I could do a knight. But anyways, I said it would be the spaceman. And I want you to look at the date on that video, because that came out before they announced the next upscale minifigure. And to my knowledge, there weren't even any leaks for it. Or if there were, I wasn't aware of them. But the next upscaled minifigure was indeed the Spaceman. Upscaled blue astronaut minifigure, kit 40921. It is 793 pieces. It is, there we go. For ages 10 and up. It does not come with a minifigure, unfortunately. If you remember the first guy, the first mass market non-licensed one did come with a little, ripped his whole hat off. Did come with a little version of himself piloting his big, like, mech style body. But Santa and the race car driver did not. I don't think Harry and Hermione did. And I have no idea about the pirate. But the pirate's been out for like a number of years and may not even have like an Easter egg thing going on its head. If it does, it's probably a treasure map. But rather than come with a minifigure, this one does have a little driver, and it is a little robot that does look suspiciously like something you might find in an advent calendar. Yeah, I opened the whole thing up, took the bag out. There are 9 bags. And we do have our booklet. The booklet contains no words, but it does have just a cute little retrospective on the original classic Spaceman. There you see some of his early appearances, 1984 and 85. I am pretty sure as a child that I have this set and this set. Not the others, but I think I have these two. These like little triangular pieces are always kind of cool as a kid. Don't know why. You don't see them too often anymore though. You saw them a lot in space. I mean, like this vehicle here is entirely those pieces pretty much. But yeah, no words. No like story about the Spaceman, how he came to be, anything like that. But also, no decals. There are no decals in this package. Just 9 bags of parts. And we still do not have my first set that's all paper. It's still plastic. But I'm kind of not looking too forward to paper realistically. I mean, I got over it with the boxes on the minifigures. But that was just because they put a QR code on them, made them easier to figure out what's in them rather than harder. But I am concerned that with the paper bags, it's going to be easier to have a piece get stuck in there, which already happens. I already have that happen once every couple builds. I'll have a piece that gets stuck in the corner of the bag. The thing is, with the thicker paper, it's going to be harder to notice it. It's not, you're not going to be able to see it, obviously. And if it's just a 1x1 or a stud, it may be really hard to feel it in there. So I feel like that's going to be add an extra challenge in the future. But ecologically, it's probably best we switch to paper. Just for that reason, I'm not totally looking forward to it. But our big little Spaceman here is composed of 266 steps, it looks like. from first stud to last cap put on. And it should be very similar. Of course, the body should be pretty much the same as all the other minifigures, as Santa and as the race car driver and as the minifigure here. The helmet, though, is different between the race car driver and him. If you look, race car driver has sort of a hinged helmet. He has a little movement there, and it's only one stud wide. But if you look at the picture of our big little spaceman here, it is 2 studs wide, no hinging. So they, for whatever reason, redesigned the helmet between him and him, even though that was, what, a year apart? Less than a year apart from when they were released? So I wonder why that is, because I'm pretty sure, minifigure-wise, their helmets are the same helmet. Especially if you go back to the classic stuff. They didn't have a separate helmet mold for spacemen and race car drivers. If you had a helmet, whether you were a deep sea diver, or a race car driver, or an outer spaceman, it was the same helmet with different colors, and then eventually, like, they added visors. And then, of course, the other big difference for this new set is going to be that he does have the classic spaceman oxygen, also diving tank, scuba tank, depending on what set you have. But yeah, I've got the classic. Yeah, there's no pictures of just it on its own, probably until we get to building it. The classic air tank, so that will become a little different than the other two. I think that probably boosted up the piece count a little bit. Just a little bit, though, because otherwise, I mean, it should be... Oh, another thing is different. This doesn't have this one stud going across here. It has one extra flat piece. I wonder if that's going to be sturdier. It looks like, it looks sturdier. It looks like a heftier, like a chunkier build. Because your race car driver's helmet's a little weak, but it's fine. Also, the new one does have the more like curved edge hands with the little slope pieces in it that our original minifigure did not. Which I think does make it look a little bit more like a minifigure. I feel like I want to go find some yellow slope pieces to put in there just to make him look like the others. Maybe I will at some point. I'll have to look. But anyways, though, I think that's about all I said. There may have been more. Actually, I'm sure there was more things I said the first time around, but they probably weren't important, and you may well have skipped over them anyways, so it doesn't matter. What does matter is we've got a build ahead of us. I figure probably about 2 hours my time, so a couple minutes, 5 minutes, fast forward time. But there's only one way to find out for sure, and that's to get to it. Let's jump to the fast forward. Let's go to... Oh, there's one more thing I want to say. This is not Benny. Let's make that clear. People want this to be Benny from Lego Movie. It is not Benny. Benny has a broken helmet. And Benny also has a goofy look on his face. And there are people online who have turned him into Benny by modifying the helmet to make it look cracked. And I think it looks something on Etsy that is selling Benny-looking faceplates. So, I mean, you can make him into Benny, but we're not doing that today. He's just normal, blue, astronaut, spaceman, minifigure, part of the space series. Because space. No spaceships, just space. All right, now all that said, let's build him. Let's go to the fast forward. And that is kit 40921, the upscale blue astronaut minifigure completed. And yeah, it looks good. So I noticed a couple of interesting, to me at least, things here. So I noticed that the joints on my original guy here feel like they're getting really weak. Like he doesn't want to stand up, while our new one has clicky joints. And so I noticed in here a piece I don't recall seeing before, which is this one here. This little clicky joint with the two pegs coming off of it, two Technic pins coming off it. So I thought I would take a look and see, and you can briefly see me do this in the fast forward, how the leg assemblies, because I didn't think the other ones were like this, and they're not. The old leg assembly from the race car driver is much more involved and it doesn't click. It's more of a smooth rotation. And I think we're gonna find if I pull off his leg, if I can do that. Yeah. Oof, I think we'll find if I pull on his leg, his entire body comes apart. So yeah, it's the same assembly on him. And that's probably part of why it feels like it's getting weaker. Is that it might just be wearing out. Which may hopefully not happen with the clicky thing. But does he? Because he doesn't feel, he's loose, but he's not as loose. So I wonder if that's been an issue they've had, or if it's just an issue of this takes a lot less pieces than that assembly did. And people like, now this, Fred, this doesn't assemble back together as easily. But, so yeah, we have a more limited range of motion. It can only go into individual clicks. But like, I mean, other than standing up or sitting down, what position are you going to have it in? Another change is his head doesn't turn. And I think that's, I mean, because the other one's heads do turn, right? Yeah. See, that's where the clicky is on him. He has a clicky neck. Does he too? So does he? I think Santa's head didn't turn either because his beard was in the way. But his doesn't turn. His doesn't even have a clicky thing in there. It's just a head on a post. And that's because, of course, if you try to turn it, it would interfere with his diving tank, which I think the diving tank is rendered really nicely, the way they have done this. I do like that, the way it's worked. The neck feels a little weird. But I guess I'm going to put him on a shelf. I probably need to put that down, don't I? Because that's probably not supposed to just... There we go. Doesn't affect much, but I guess it's more of an issue that he doesn't have as much of a neck. Because I feel like the space guy here is visibly taller than the race car driver. And the legs and stuff are the same. But yeah, look, he is definitely a couple brick, like a full brick, maybe 2 bricks, brick and a half, taller than the race car driver. And it's all the head. It's because they made that bigger helmet. Maybe it's because they were putting a space inside the helmet for the little robot to sit, and they didn't need that for him. Maybe it's just that they made the better helmet. I do like this helmet. It maybe is a little thick compared to a proper spaceman figure, but I think it looks good. It looks more, I think it, because this almost looks like a chin strap, as where this looks like a proper part of a face helmet. So I think I do like that better, even if it does make him taller. Is he taller than... It's kind of hard to tell with... Well, let me turn the head sideways. Hold on. Now, see, they're about the same height. So I guess the issue isn't so much that he's taller, it's that he's shorter. All right, so I should have complained like 3 months ago when I built the race car driver that he was too short. Not that our space guy is too tall. But also, I think I do like him better than the race car driver. I think puts him in 3rd place. I do like this guy just because I like the fact he's a mech. And I like Santa for being Santa. But I do think Space Guy comes in 3rd. I've never been huge into the racing. I'm more into the giant minifigures. So that's, why I bought him to begin with, is I like the giant minifigures. But yeah, I think I do like the Space Guy a little bit better. So we have the new leg assembly, which is interesting. The different head assembly. And then again, inside here we have our advent calendar style robot who has to have his antennas bent down a bit in order to sit in there, because the antennas otherwise interfere with the helmet. He's got a little control panel, neat little printed pieces, as you would normally find in the old-fashioned space sets. Not reproductions of those. These definitely are more modern. Would have been cool to do reproductions of the classic space control panels, but that's fine. And yeah, he's just... yeah, he looks like something... I am sure if I go and look through my holiday stuff, I've probably got a piece, or an assembly that looks almost exactly like this in Santa's village as a toy somewhere. So it's not great. He's not great. He's kind of the weak point of the whole set, and so I will probably put him in there and we'll never look at him again because I'm not proud of him in the same way I'm proud of him. I keep showing him off because I like him. I don't like the robot guy, but it's fine. It's good to know our spaceman has robots on his mind. Just like our race car driver has motors on his mind. I think this, oops, nope, the entire head came off. Does the head come off? I don't think it does. Oh, there we go. Yep. He's got a motor on his mind. He's got a robot on his mind. And he's just self-absorbed. He only has himself on his mind. It's just the little inside-out him that controls the body. It's a nice build. I think it looks good. If you like the other upscaled minifigures, you're going to like it as well. It's just another one of them. Like I said, the body, the arms, the feet, it's all constructed about the same. We do have a different in the where the legs attach, which I think long-term will be better, because again, this already feels like it's getting loose after just a couple of years. This feels still tighter. And it's the same assembly, so I can imagine then in another couple of years, this is also going to feel a little on the loose side, which is unfortunate. I mean, for the most part, other than when I do more upscale minifigure videos, he's going to just sit up on a shelf, but still kind of disappointing, you know? But that said, it was a fun build. I'm having an issue with one of the lights. I don't know how evident that is on the video. It was a fun build. I enjoyed it. I'm down for whatever minifigures I come out with next. What would next be? A knight. I'm going to guess something from like Knight's Kingdom. They still flirt with that periodically with like the Lion's Knight Castle stuff. They do like 1 or 2 kits a year in the Lion's Knight kind of setting. So I think that's going to be our next one. We'll get an upscaled knight, which I'm down for. I was never super into those, but I will absolutely go for an upscaled knight. Or maybe we will see them branch into the licensing and we'll get like an upscaled Darth Vader or something. I think if they do licensing, I think Vader's gotta be the first one you do. Even though, yeah, they already did Harry and Hermione. But I feel like, I think Vader was the most obvious licensed character to do. Again, acknowledging that Harry and Hermione have already been done. But what do you think of the upscale minifigures? Do you have the blue astronaut minifigure? What do you think of him? Did you think it was a fun build? What do you think of that leg assembly difference? And I think this is actually going to be long-term better, given that, again, his legs do feel like they're weakening a bit. I may have to like get in there and maybe upgrade the inside of him to match that. Order those pieces and change him over. But yeah, what do you think? Have you built him? What did you think of him? What do you think of the collection in general? And are you two also less than pleased that you will never, probably never, get the pirate? Let me know in the comments. But that'll wrap this up. I enjoyed it. I hope you found it all interesting and entertaining. I hope that you take care of yourself, you take care of your loved ones, you be safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.